everyone, today we're going to answer some of the questions in the part B of readings. So we're going to answer a total of different 5 questions about this specific topics. Firstly, we're going to go to the critical answer of short answers, and we're going to answer question number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So first, let's jump into first question. Explain what communications from the inside out, why, how, what is more effective than the outside in communication. So think about it. As the speaker told us of the golden circle, we talks about 3 things, like a golden circle, which is firstly from the inside circle, we have the inside of the why. Second, on the second layer, we got how, and the outside layer is what. So they says that once explain what communication from the inside from out is why, how, what is more effective than the outside is what, how, why. So this is why more effective. So think about it, because when we talk about companies or others leaders have been goes to these. So what do you think? So when they when they're making a commercial or any other companies, they rather use this kind of things because they use the inside out. Why do you believe are challenging the status quo? Second, how do you do it? How do you challenge the status quo? What makes your companies well, and what is your product is? And so what rather you can upside down is that less commercial or less company rather do why, because lots of people do what they have like what it is. For example, they have like apples, which actually have computers, and then how they mix how they mix it or what it is. Like for example, this are like a lot of so for example, a lot of controls, some of them are easy to use. So for example, they have cars. They have cars, which is exactly what it is, was a car. So they have leather seats, they have comfortable seats, they're big and also like really easy to use. Then they also have the less companies rather do why they do it. It doesn't mean that it's a cost, because sometimes costs and profits is actually the result, because it's always a result. And why do people do it is actually why does your company actually exist in the status quo. And because when companies using the inside out why they do it, we are challenging the status quo. How do you challenge the status quo? What is your product? What do it have? Then what it is. So you rather do why do we think that our company existed? Why do you think that we challenging the status quo? And exactly how do we challenge the status quo? What do we have of products? What does it look like? How do we make it? And actually, why do companies existed? Without the why companies exist, people are more likely not to buy it, because people thought that like we have leather seats, we have cars, we have comfortable seats, we have remote controls, we have like innovated or more machinicals. Nah, people actually not buy at all, because like you're scaring us, we don't like it, we don't want it, and you're totally wrong or it is a lie. This is totally what customer actually cares. The customer care why the company even existed, why they even works, and why they even cares about those things. Moving on to the second question. How did Apple use a purpose to inspire customer loyalty beyond the quality of the products? People don't care. Mostly people, like 50% don't care about the products. They care about what is the purpose of the products. Because the limbic brains actually confirms about the belief, the purpose, and the why sections. So why sections is that how did the Apple use its purpose to inspire? Like what is the purpose to inspire customer loyalty like beyond the quality of the products? Because sometimes people don't care about the products, they don't care about the quality, because actions are much more than words. So they show them what is the purpose of what purpose of their company is, what is actually the purpose of it, and they showed why the purpose actually matters, what is or why there are actually companies existed, why people should buy it, and why it's beneficial in the status quo today, or maybe the future generation. And then the quality, people just care about the quality of the products. They care about why those products actually existed. Without the quality, without the companies actually exist, they know kind of products. They know products, even with bad quality products, don't exist. Moving on to the third question, describe differences between pursuing a cause, pursuing a result. So what is a cause? What is a result? and using the Wright brothers and Langley example. So you all know the Wright brothers and Langley is a two-person who has been invented or is happened to the accomplish of making a flight, the first flight. So exactly what I think about it. So using an example of this, the Wright brothers have been invented these stuff, and they also have been invented stuff not by the professionals of those guarantee, but they actually use this by their quality of achieving the power of flight first, because the Wright brothers have been powering the flight first. They don't care about the powers of people, how popular people is, how hardworking people is, because the Wright brothers works by tears, hearts, that work by blood, hearts, and others kind of like bloods and tears, and also hardworking. They don't care about how much people have been. They care about the products of the people, the purpose of the people, and for future generation. Because the Wright brothers, because on those days, instead of Langley doesn't accomplish because because it's quitting when they see the Wright brothers actually working together to make this flights, but not just by the professional people who actually knows how to invent stuff. They are working by blood and tears, by all the effort instead of using professional or athletical kind of work instead of the Lentleys. Moving on to ninth question is that why did people attempt Dr. King's speech according to Sikhs? Because why did people attended it? So we all know that this kind of story of Dr. King's speech, which is like instead he don't use invitation. He don't use invitation at all. He don't actually use or maybe invite it. Instead, he tells people what he actually believes. He tells people again and again. Those people who believe in his belief actually tells the other people, which spreads around 3,000, more than 2,000 people actually went to right time, right date, right at those periods, and right years, right time, right periods, and exactly right place. So yeah, they goes there to see him speak. But how much people actually attend his speech? Zero, because no one's actually believe, because what they believe in him, actually they do it for themselves. It's not for him to like listen to his speech. They believe him that he did what he believed in the world it is, and people attended Dr. King's speech according to speaker. When we move on to the last question here, it reflects a modern example of company and leader who simply starts with why. Peoples have companies, and also Luther King's Richard have accomplishes a lot of presidents of our world have been using the why section. The why did it actually matters? Like, why do this debate actually matters? Why do your companies matter? Why it even existed in this world? That is why a lot of companies, modern examples of companies and leaders, so simply start with why. Like Luther King, was actually the president, had been using this why until he got millions, inspired millions of people just because he started with why. So that is my end of question. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.